Hey, and welcome to my journey. Today's video is a weigh-in video. Now, you know I weigh every day because I like to know. I didn't weigh this week because I was just like, I don't want to know. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait, let the chips fall where they may. Which, weighing every day ain't going to change what you weigh on your weigh-in day, your official weigh-in day. But I just like to know. I didn't want to know this week. To my surprise, I weighed exactly to the penny what I weighed last week, 328. That puts me at zero change, and I'm still at 49.1. Oh, I got a cat up in here. No, go away. Go away. He's walking and looking. I can't start feeding no cat because then I'll be having cats all up in here peeing on everything. Lord help us. One year, the people, Uncle Eddie, let me remind you of Uncle Eddie. For the new ones of you, my aunt's house, my great aunt's house lived across the corner where they just built these new houses. And there was this wow man. He was a young boy. Him and his, I don't know if she was a wife, a girlfriend, I don't know what she was. But he was just, I hate to call somebody trash, but he was trash. He would always want to go down in the drain. It's going down in the ditch. It's going to go down in the big old drain pipe, I bet you. It's probably the cats he left when they moved. He would be out there, he was out there one day beating the tree with a ball bat, run his car back and forth in the mud, just back and forth, screaming to the top of his lungs at his girlfriend, wife, whatever. He was a horrible person. So I always had Uncle Eddie stories, and then they moved, and whoever owned that knocked the house down. But they left the kitties, I guess, well, no, because cats have cats, and cats. And then my other great aunt's house is still down at the end of the road, and so it's abandoned. It's been abandoned for years. I don't know what's living in there. I don't even know if there might be squatters in there for all I know. My cousin who lives right down there says she hears noise up in there. Ooh, I seen a meme. I seen a meme yesterday talking about, how'd it go? Said, when somebody die, you at the funeral always tell me, oh, come back. And then when I do, you all screaming and carrying on. I'm gonna come back and haunt somebody. I'm gonna come back and, ooh, people, yes I am. Maybe not my family. I don't want to scare my family, but maybe some strangers. That's mean. So anyway, about my food, I don't know how I stayed the same, but I'll take it. I mean, it was on the scale, so it happened. I guess I didn't eat as bad as I thought I did. If I had ate better, I would have had a loss. But I'm fine with it because, you know, coming up on that 2-week pre-op diet, oh my gosh, they ain't no telling how much weight I'll lose. Somebody, I don't remember who was. Oh, that cat's going over to the neighbor's house now. That's what I was going to tell y'all. Uncle Ed, I'm getting on different subjects. Uncle Eddie's cats would come up here. David had his daddy's old truck, and he drove it until somebody wrecked him out here on the 4th of July about 4 years ago. He was stopped out here to come in the road, and some woman not paying attention come down the hill and just plastered him in the back. His head went back and busted the windshield. Yes. I mean, he was okay other than, like, it messed up his back and his neck, and, you know, he was sore for a long time. But she pushed him. She was in a little car, and he was in a truck, and she pushed him a good little bit down the road. So anyway, you know how pickup trucks, a lot of them, I don't know if they still do these days, but back in the day, they had the little sliding windows, and for the back glass, the little windows that slide open. And so that's what this had, and he had left it open. Well, one of them tomcats got up in there and peed. You can tell a tomcat pee, trust me. I was growing up around cats. It took us, oh my gosh, I don't know how many treatments. I think I've told y'all before, pH down, pool supply called pH down will neutralize cat pee. We had got that, and I don't know how many treatments we did to that carpet and that seat, and it finally got rid of it. It did, 100% got rid of it. There was no more cat pee in there. But then it would come up here, and it was like peeing on the porch or around the porch. And I'm just like, I hate to be mean because the little cat's probably hungry, but then when you feed it, then all the other cats will come up in here, and then before you know it, we got cats that we don't want. So I feel bad, but somebody will help it. I reckon it'll go around eating mice and stuff. They can do that. I don't mind the cat for that. Oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you this. I used to clean houses. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be loud. I used to clean houses when Holly was little. I took her with me. Oh, she was the best baby. She didn't mess with nothing. I took her with me to clean houses till she started kindergarten. And she went with me when she was still in her little carry seat. That's when she started going with me. So she grew up knowing you just don't touch things. And she didn't touch things. RJ didn't either. He grew up knowing you just don't mess with something that ain't yours. But I knew it. There's the blue beast. Hold on. He got all his doors off today. It's nice out here. It's 58 degrees. Oh, it feels wonderful. It's only supposed to be like 81 today. It'll be a nice day. So anyway, I cleaned houses and she was good. She was a good child. Well, this one house I cleaned for was a townhome, and they had a cat. She had a bag hanging on the, when you go in the front door, there's like a little closet as you go in. And there was a bag hanging on it, and I thought, oh, well, what I thought was cat poop. I thought it was poop out of the cat litter box, and maybe she was just hanging on the door to take it out, and she just didn't get it taken out, even though the garbage cans were out the side door. Whatever. That's what it looked like. So I grabbed it. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what that is. It was a rat. It was a big rat. She said the cat had caught it. Now, that was an indoor cat. That cat did not go outside. So I want to know, in this townhome, where this big old rat come from. I never seen hide nor hair of one the whole time I cleaned that house. Never seen no rat turds. Nothing. So I don't know where that cat got a hold of that thing, but I grabbed it. I can still feel it I can feel it to this day. I can feel that thing. It was nasty. So anyway, my eating. We'll get back around the pole here in a minute. My eating was apparently not as bad as I thought it was, but it is going to be bad this week. If you saw my menu plan and grocery haul, you know that I planned to go out and eat. Ooh, we had our fish plate last night, half price night, and I went to get it because Dave was in the bed. Oh my gosh, they were so crowded. But boy, they skipped on mine. Them little pieces of catfish was so skinny. They was not the big old, like, fat, thick, juicy pieces. I was a little bit not too happy about that. They was like, well, you know, half price, they gonna change on you. I'm like, yeah, they are. Which they usually had never done that before. But anyway, it was good. I ate it. Don't act like I didn't eat it. So it was good. So I got my Mayflower out the way. I feel good about that. Listen, that's pretty good. All the sodium I ate last night that I stayed the same. Just from the sodium and the cake. That cake that I bought on my menu plan, on my grocery haul, get it out, was delicious. And we ate the whole thing. I'm like, the one piece I had was delicious. I can't wait to get some more of it. But y'all saw all the restaurants I have planned. Tonight I'm cooking. We're having Sloppy Joe's tonight because of all things that you would want to have, you wouldn't think a Sloppy Joe would be one of them, but I love Sloppy Joe's. I remember one time as a kid, or as a teenager really, I was a teenager, a girl. Of course I'm a girl. Where did that come from? Anyway, a teenager. I guess I was trying to say as a teenage girl, I ate 6 Sloppy Joes. I told my mama, I said, and I was not fat. I was thin. I was normal size. I wasn't overweight. Didn't have no weight problem. Didn't have a weight problem until I got pregnant with RJ. I told my mama, I said, don't you ever tell nobody I ate no 6 Sloppy Joes. So here I am telling y'all today. But I was just, I was wanting some Sloppy Joes. And not even my homemade ones, which my homemade ones are the best. I just wanted some Man-Wich. So I got me I had to go to the Dollar General yesterday, and I seen the Man-Wich. So I'm like, oh, I forgot to get that on my grocery haul. Oh, we'll stop here in a minute because here comes a school bus, as Sebastian calls it. Oh, they sent a picture of his first day of kindergarten. He rides the school bus. Hold on just a minute. So yeah, he rides the school bus. He had his little backpack on, and he was grinning, and had his little pen on his thing, told his bus number and all that. So I hope he does good. I hope he does good in kindergarten. I hope he listens. I hope he minds. I know he's smart. I hope he learns. What was we talking about? My food. We keep circling back to the food. So I got my restaurants figured out where I want to go. And then I bought my snacks. All the stuff I used to binge on. Well, not all the stuff I used to binge on because I binge on a lot of things. But some of my favorites that I would get stuck in a mode of having to have them, like Pringles. I went through a long period of time with Pringles and Little Debbie cakes, and I would sit them over there beside my chair, and every night I would just be eating Little Debbie cakes and Pringles. So you know I got my Little Debbie cakes. And what else? Oh, I got my Bugles and my French onion dip. I used to binge on that. David used to work. He worked early. He worked nights still, but he worked and went in earlier than he does now. So we would have supper earlier, and then I would be hungry, the rest of the night, because that was when I could stay up half the night watching TV, coloring, or doing whatever I would be doing. And I was getting hungry. So sometimes I would run up to the Dollar General and get me a bag of Bugles and French onion dip. Come home and pig out. A lot of times I'd go up to Whataburger. Sometimes I'd get a Whataburger. Sometimes I'd just get me a cherry lemon drop. If I was in here cleaning the house, back when I could have those marathon house cleaning nights where I'd just go around and clean the whole entire house. I wish I had somebody to come clean my house. It ain't filthy, but you can't eat off of nothing, I'll tell you that. I'd go up there sometimes just get me a cherry lemon sun drop. I love them things. I'll be getting one of them on Saturday when I have on Monday when I have my lunch. Because you can't go to Whataburger without cherry lemon. But, so I'm going to have all my food funerals, my food freedom week. I'm going to do it whatever I weigh on Tuesday. That's what I weigh. Because I'm going to do another weigh-in video on Tuesday. Because Tuesday is the first day of my pre-op diet. And the pre-op diet, I've told you before, but I'll tell you again in case you hadn't seen, is under 1,000 calories a day, and it's very strict, no carbs. You can have 50 carbs, but trust me, I made my Tuesday menu for what I'm going to eat. And that's the only day because I'll go to the store again on Wednesday. I guess I should have made it for Wednesday too, since I won't be at the store until I'll have to eat before I go to the store, because you have to have your little schedule. But carbs in vegetables add up on you quick. You'd be surprised how many carbs is in onions. I put onions to have a salad one day. You'd be surprised how many carbs is in the onion. Yeah. I guess it's the natural sugars in it. I don't know. But come Tuesday I'm going to do. I want to weigh in that day because I want to know how much that 2 weeks of strict eating is going to make me lose. And then of course I'm sure weigh in at the hospital because they'll want to get a before weight. so they know, how far you've come on your surgery and whatnot like that. So I don't know how I'll be recording for my surgery. I'll record something because it's part of the journey. I'll try to record some stuff in the hospital if I can. Just little bits here and there, whatever I can do. And I tell you this, I'm ready. I am ready. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I want this surgery so bad. I want this tool, and I know it's a tool. If I was able to do this by myself and not keep faltering, not counting the last month because it's been where I hadn't really tried. So this last month doesn't count as far as losing weight because I've gained weight every week. And that's because I just have not been worried about it. But when I do try, as hard as I try, I still gain weight, and then I lose it, and then I gain it, and I lose it, and I just spin my wheels. It's just like you're spinning your wheels, and then you make a little bit of a advance. So you do good, and you stay there, and then you spin your wheels there, and then you make just a little bit more of an advance. And so it's taken me years, 4.5, to get where I was, and then I blew it. I was starting to eat whatever I wanted to eat before this surgery happens. But if I could do this on my own, I wouldn't be having surgery because I wouldn't put my body through that. But listen, I'll say I'm desperate. I will go as far as to say I'm desperate. I'm desperate for help. And I think this is the help I need. This is the tool I need to make me do what I need to do to lose weight. I don't have a choice but to follow the rules, or else I'm going to be sick. I'm going to go through that dumping syndrome, which is like they say the worst. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do what they tell me to do. And I do not want to put my body through this and gain it back. That's why I want to do what they say that I should do. That's why I'm getting all this stuff out of the way now, because I want to eat healthy, even though at some point I would be able to eat probably what I eat now. I don't necessarily want to eat what I eat now because I don't always make the best choices. I want to eat healthy, and I want to have a normal relationship with food. I think this is going to help me do. So anyway, let me tell you this. Then we're going to go. I was sitting in here on the chair the other day, and out the corner of my eye, I see something black come flying across the carpet. First thing, I'm getting the chills thinking about it. Not that what it was gives me the chills. Thinking about it was a tarantula, because it was going fast and it was jet black. And if it was a mouse ain't jet black. A mouse is gray. This little black thing come flying across my carpet and stopped. It was one of them black skinks, them little lizards that gets out on your porch. And we got them that climbs up the back wall, the retaining wall. They all over the porch. Well, somehow it had got in, and I'm thinking the only time it could have got in was when Holly was here several days earlier, and we leave the front door open. Well, my glass door back here, it will not shut all the way. It has slowly but surely got woppy-jawed and just will not shut all the way, so there's a crack under it. So it must have come in, and he had been hiding under the couch or something. So I stopped and I just sit there. I want to see which way it went. She just sit there. Next thing you know, she took a right turn and went up in my shelf on my TV stand. It's an old TV stand where you used to put the TV down in the shelf. We got ours on top now because we don't have those kind of old TVs no more. But there's shelves on the bottom, and it went up in there. I'm like, okay, if I go really gently and quietly past it, maybe I can get a cup and get it to run up in, because then no way you could ever catch it. The little thing is too little and too fast. I would catch it with my hands because I ain't scared of the lizard. Let's go and get that right. I thought maybe I could scooch it up into a cup and I could let it loose. Well, I didn't get up a bit more than the man in the moon. Here it come out and went up under the TV stand. I'm like, okay, let's just see where it goes. So I was sitting there, I was just trying to watch and see if it come out the other end, which if it did, it went behind the little table I got there. I'd never know it. Next thing you know, because you can get up under the TV stand on the side and the front. Next thing you know, this little head pokes out. And I see it, I'm like, okay, there you are. So I got and I creeped up over. I wanted to open the front door. Well, it run over and run like towards the door, but against the wall. I'm like, okay, just stay right there. I'm coming. So I got over there and I opened the front door, and obviously the glass door here has the crack under it. Well, it turned around and run back, and I'm like, just go outside. Don't get in the rest of my house. Just go outside. Lo and behold, here it come. It creeped up beside the couch, and I got over and I looked. It did scare it. I know it seen me, because my eyes all up over the place. I stood there and watched it. It creeped up a little bit, and it sat there, and it creeped up a little bit, sat there, and it got up right to the door. And next thing you know, boom, it shot right on out the door. So listen, I can have one getting in the house right now as we speak. Those little things crawl everywhere. There was one out here with Sebastian. He's like, what is that? What is that? I'm like, it's a lizard. Lord help us. Holly and Jacob was here a couple days ago, and he was just in a mood. He did not like the word no that day. He was just being defiant for a little 1-year-old. I mean, just turned 1-year-old. He was, everything he would try to get into, his mama told him no. He would just, so he reached up. He likes to hold your finger and walk. So she was standing there, and he was standing there, and he reached up and grabbed her finger, started walking towards the front door. She says, well, you want to go outside? I said, well, if he wants to go outside, let's go outside. So she come out here, and I didn't know if she was coming back in before I could get out there. And I'm like, well, let me go out there and we'll just sit outside. He was over here at the top of the steps, and he was fussing. I said, well, I thought he wanted to come outside. She said, yeah, he's trying to go down the steps, and I won't let him. I said, oh, okay, I got you. Well, she held on to him, and he knows how to put one step down. And they went down the steps. He wanted to get down there in the grass because he's done it before. So he was barefoot and got down in the grass and everything. And every time he got, because the driveway gravels comes over to the yard, and there's like a little place under the tree here that you can park too. So every time he would get close to the gravels, he'd get one straight to the mouth and go. She was just working herself to death, keeping them rocks out his mouth. Well, we come on back up here, and he played on the porch. So I got this little flower pot over here. It had some cilantro that was half dead when I bought it. It didn't last. So I got some chives in there that I ain't never used, and they're looking kind of, well, they're green with brown tips. So that tells you how much I paid attention to them. So he found that flower pot, and it's got dirt clods in it. It's not smooth, perfect dirt. It's black dirt, good potting soil, but it's got little clods in it, you know. So he would reach in there and find one straight to the mouth and go. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Okay, straight to the mouth it'd go. Well, she had bought a bubble blower at Target. It's just, you put batteries in it and mash the button, and it blows bubbles all out the top. Oh, well, he was playing with that. He had put his hands all on the top where the bubbles come out, and so he was covered in and knocked it over, you know. He says it wasn't supposed to spill, but you know it did. He was covered in bubbles. He was wet. His hands were wet, and so when he was in that dirt, it was just sticking to him like glue. She's got a picture of him that was so cute. He was holding on to the pot and had the clod in his right hand, and he turned around and was holding it up to her, because she told him, she said, well, let me have it. So he was turning around giving it to her, and his mouth was just covered in dirt. Listen, this little girl, when Holly was little, at the church we went to, they would be playing and getting dirty and all this and that, and the little girl, she would say, God made dirt and dirt don't hurt. So when Holly put it on her Facebook page, she hashtagged it. Hashtag God made dirt and dirt don't hurt. Listen, you got to let your kid. This is what I like about Holly. She lets him explore his world. She don't micromanage every little thing he makes. She lets him walk and fall down. She lets him touch things, not things that he's not supposed to, but like dirt. She lets him explore dirt and explore rocks and sticks and leaves. She lets him walk up and down the steps, holding him, of course. She lets him go barefoot and, lets his feet touch the porch. And she lets him sit out here and get covered in bubbles. And she just lets him explore his world. And he's a smart little thing because of it. I think it's because he's learning to maneuver through life at such a young little age. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I think he is. He's learning, and like he learned when she said, give it to me, give it to mommy, and he turned around and handed it to her. He's learning. Now, he did that day. He wanted to get into things he wasn't supposed to get into, but other things that he can get into, she makes sure it ain't gonna hurt him. I mean, obviously she don't let him play in traffic. But he's a smart little fella. He is. Sebastian's a smart little fella. Listen, my kids were smart. And my brother's kids were smart. We just have smart children in our family. We talk about it all the time. How the children in our family, I wasn't half bad. I mean, I wasn't smart as my kids, but I wasn't dumb. You know what I mean? I made decent grades, and I was in the honor society and all that kind of stuff. So we have smart kids. My mom was smart. So anyway, well, that's all I know today, I think. Let me get a sip of coffee and study on that. Yeah, pretty sure that's all. David's got a lasting cough. Oh, I thought I saw something. He's got a lasting cough from when he had the COVID. He can't get rid of that cough, so I went yesterday. Oh. When I went to the grocery store yesterday, I was just dragging because my knees were hurting me extra bad. And I had walked around my car, and at first I didn't hear, and then I heard this lady. She goes, "Are you all right?" I turned around. This little lady ain't big as a minute. I'm going to tell you what. She about as big as my pinky finger, pushing her little buggy. She parked up like I usually do, but I parked in the handicap yesterday. She was pushing her little buggy. She was probably half my height and about the size of my leg, and she was wondering, was I all right? I said, yeah, honey. I said, it's just my knees. I said, my knees act up on me. She said, oh, mine do too. She goes, I just don't know what I'm going to do about it. I said, I know what you mean. I said, at least you don't have as much weight to carry around on yours as I do mine. I said, it makes it hard. She goes, I don't know how you do it. I said, honey, me neither. But I thought that was so sweet. And she was an older lady, much, much older than me. She had to be in her 80s, worried about me. And I thought that was sweet. And then when I went to the Dollar General, let's see, I've been twice. I had to get him some other medicine for something else. And then I had to go get him this because the doctor wrote him back. He told me check it, make sure what the doctor said. And the doctor wrote him back and said they used the over-the-counter stuff. And where was I? How did I get my door held open for me 2 times? But I sure did. These young boys holding the door. One was holding it and standing there waiting on me while I was dragging myself from my car to the front door of the Dollar General. I'm like, that's so sweet. All these little sweet people helping me. I tell you, we like to talk about the world we live in. It's rough. It really is. We live in a rough world, and it's not the same kind world as it used to be. But there are still kind people in it. People that still have a heart for people. And I see a lot of that when I'm out. People helping me. So I appreciate it. I think it's sweet. And on that note, I will tell y'all I appreciate y'all. I got me some pretty cards this week, some sweet cards. Y'all know who you are. And a lot of y'all send me cards that you make. Y'all some talented people. Y'all make some pretty cards. And I can tell they homemade. Well, this was said on the back, handmade for you. But it was pretty. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everything y'all send me. I really do. All right, well, that's all I know today. We'll just cut it short. And I stayed the same. So I'm happy with that. And how about I will see you in my next video.